Today we're going to look at the Signature Parcel, a lightweight, urban-oriented model from Joie, sold at a very attractive price and coming with a lot of stash included with purchase. So let's have a look then, going over the model from top to bottom and examining its advantages and disadvantages in terms of child comfort, ease of use, performance, and mechanics, before ending with a discussion of whether we feel it's worth its price. And starting off with some stats, the Parcel clocks in at 6.9 kilos and folds down to 75 by 49 by 29 centimeters, which is too large for cabin luggage unfortunately, but still a convenient size for fitting in the trunk. It can take 22 kilos in the seat and 4.5 kilos in the underslung shopping basket. As far as child comfort is concerned, the Parcel's seat has an inside width of 34 centimeters and measures 87 centimeters long for the sitting surface, meaning the sum of the lengths of the backboard, baseboard, and leg rest, while also having a longer length of 114 centimeters when taking into account space beneath the canopy and the distance to the front frame mounted footrest. These are decent dimensions for a model of this sort, and will provide a comfortable reclined position for children up until 1.5 to 2 years old, as well as being sufficiently large for older children to sit upright up until around 3.5 to 4. On top of this, the Parcel has both a near-flat recline and one of the most upright positions I've seen on a model of this type. As far as other aspects of the seat go, the Parcel has decent textiles for the price, not premium quality, but not basement cheap either, and the canopy provides acceptable sun coverage in the upright and semi-reclined positions, though its lack of extension and high positioning does make it a bit too short, in my opinion, for younger toddlers, especially when fully reclined. Mechanically, though I find the handle for adjusting the recline quite convenient, this does add an extra degree of complexity versus just using a drawstrap that might lead to problems down the line, and I'd also note that I've never been a fan of these dual struts used for adjusting the leg rest, a mechanism brought over from umbrella models that's both weak and offers no solid support in the middle, which can make the leg rest sag. Moving on to parent comfort, the Parcel's handle stands at a fixed height of 102 centimeters, which is okay, though could have been a tad higher in my opinion. The shopping basket is average in size and weight capacity, but only okay for accessibility, in that it protrudes a little bit from the back end, but still feels pretty enclosed, in particular as a result of its sidewalls. Right out of the box, folding the model is a pleasantly easy process, though I'd note that the buttons responsible for the fold are quite loose as the model comes stock, before sustaining any wear. And, combined with somewhat weaker joints and hinges, I suspect that the model may suffer from alignment issues down the road, which may make folding fiddly. When folded, the Parcel's bumper bar doubles as a carry handle, and the model's quite light and compact, which makes it convenient for use with a car. As far as how the Parcel feels to use, the chassis is decently built from a design perspective, and is not loose or rattly in any of its hinges or connection points, but is also, unfortunately, too slight in its overall build, which makes the model feel weak and tend to bend and strain when steering, which will likely lead to loosening in the future. In terms of terrain capability, the Parcel has decent-sized wheels, when thinking about ultra-compacts in any case, and acceptable suspension for a smaller-sized stroller, built essentially the same as the Nuna Triv models, and, as such, can handle stuff like broken sidewalks, gravel, and other lighter off-road conditions when you need it to, though the fragile build of the model means that it will definitely sustain wear from such terrain, making it best to keep to smoother, paved environments as much as possible. Alright, let's shift over to the mechanics of the Parcel then, starting off with the handle, the folding system, and the general structure of the chassis, where again, the overall design is well thought out, but built in too small proportions with regards to the thickness of the bars and the lack of sufficient reinforcement in the connection points. And on top of this, the fold release mechanism in the center of the handle is definitely a bit too loose, feeling shoddy as a result, and in my experience with past models of the same type, this can sometimes lead to the internal wires separating from the release button, which can then make a model impossible to fold altogether. Beyond these rather important factors, though, I would like to say that, if it had been built a bit heftier, the design of the Parcel's chassis is actually quite nice, with lots of cross support, internal components kept to a minimum, and the key locking points placed on the support struts as opposed to the handle arms, a setup that's clever because these bars take less of the full brunt of steering pressure than the handle arms themselves. Moving down to the rear frame of the model, the suspension is again nice for a model of this size and weight, while the brake system on the other hand is wire-based and unfortunately lacks an adjustment screw to compensate for changes in the wire's tension as a result of wear, which can lead to issues down the road. The connection of the rear wheels within the rear housings is decently tight and simple in design, but the wheels themselves have smooth, rather plasticky tires. That, though pretty tough, meaning that they're unlikely to get full of ugly holes from sharper pebbles, are also so smooth that they won't provide much grip if you're negotiating ice or rain-slick streets. Looking lastly at the front end, the size of the front wheels is again okay, around 6 inches, and there's the standard suspension built into the front forks. The model has decent swivel locks, though they unfortunately only lock in one direction, facing inwards, which is good for driving, but it would have been nice in my opinion if they had locked outwards as well, to aid in a more stable standing fold. As far as how the wheels lock within the front housings, Joie, aka Nuna, has long nailed down their approach to this area, and the front wheels sit perfectly tight and are highly unlikely to develop wobbling problems. So, would I recommend getting the Parcel? Maybe actually. While the model has some major negatives in being essentially an ultra-compact, but also not folding down to cabin luggage dimensions, as well as, more seriously, definitely showing longevity issues when it comes to the folding system, the brakes, and the overall slimness of the build, if one were to use this model purely as an in and out of the car stroller for use in a smooth suburban environment, then I'd say that the good seat characteristics, low price, and amount of extras included with purchase do kind of make it an attractive offering for parents on a budget, provided that you treat it carefully. Though, that being said, even in this case, it's worth noting that for only $100 more or so, there are other, somewhat similar models out there with much more proven durability. In any case, we hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, we ask that you subscribe, as it helps us to continue making videos in the future. In addition, if you're currently shopping for a stroller, we have a buyer's guide on our Patreon page which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle related information. You can find it by following the links in the description. Thank you.